Human health depends primarily on a healthy diet. From natural fats to whole foods, welcome to the Health Bridge Podcast. Health Bridge Podcast.
What if I told you that a bowl of pure white sugar and white Egyptian rice might actually be healing your body?
Yeah, and at the same time, your organic raw spinach salad and grilled chicken are actively destroying it.
Right. I know. It sounds like absolute madness. I mean, we are constantly told to avoid carbs, micromanage every single vitamin, eat a mountain of raw greens just to survive.
Oh, totally.
And it leaves you feeling completely overwhelmed. Like your own health is this impossible math equation that you are just constantly failing at.
It's exhausting.
It really is. So welcome to today's deep dive, where we are looking at a system that turns everything you know about diet culture violently upside down.
It really is a profound paradigm shift. When you look at the source material we are pulling from today, it directly challenges that pervasive anxiety we all have.
Yeah.
This baseline fear that we aren't extracting enough complex nutrients from our environment to just, stay healthy.
And we are getting into the absolute thick of it today. So our source material is anchored by a book called The Ultimate Guide to the Al-Tayyibat System,
Right.
which was developed by the late Dr. Dia Alawati. And this is alongside some incredible detailed visual infographics that map out his entire philosophy.
The infographics are fascinating, honestly.
They really are. And our mission here is to explore this radical reimagining of how we understand, how we feed, and how we honor the engineering of our own bodies.
Exactly.
So, okay, let's unpack this, because to even understand this diet, we basically have to completely scrap our current definition of human biology.
Precisely. We have to
Yeah.
start from zero. Before we even touch a piece of food, the Al-Tayyibat system, which, by the way, translates to the system of wholesome goods, demands that you look at your body through a completely different lens.
Right.
Dr. Alawati captures this in one central thesis. He says, your body is not built on extraction, your body is built on manufacturing.
Manufacturing, not extraction.
Yeah.
Meaning, we shouldn't view the human body like a passive sponge that we just squeeze vitamins into.
Exactly. I mean, the sources actually include this brilliant infographic that literally illustrates the human body as an intelligent, fully integrated manufacturing plant.
Oh, I love that visual.
Right. If you picture looking inside, you don't just see organs, you see these highly organized processing stations.
Yeah, there's a digest station, a manufacture station, hormones, repair.
And they are fully automated.
And they have those little robots. It shows these little robots working in perfect harmony, managing the factory floor.
It's a great way to visualize it.
It really illustrates this core concept of the sovereign body, because the system asserts that health is your absolute baseline default state.
Right.
Like, your body doesn't need you to micromanage it. It produces everything it needs entirely on its own.
Everything. Biological cholesterol, complex vitamins, hormones, as long as it has the absolute purest raw materials, it does the work.
And that completely reframes how we must view disease, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. According to this framework, chronic illness isn't just some random unlucky attack on a weak immune system.
Right.
It is a cumulative cry for help from a factory that is being subjected to toxic inputs. So when you take conventional medications, say a pill to artificially lower your blood pressure or manage your blood sugar, you aren't actually fixing the root metabolic dysfunction.
You're just opening a window while the house is on fire.
Essentially, yeah.
Actually, it makes me think of a highly advanced self-regulating smart home.
Okay, I like that.
Right? So if the house gets too hot because the furnace is malfunctioning, conventional medicine is like forcefully prying a window open to let the heat out.
Right, treating the symptom.
Exactly. But the smart home sensors, which would be the body's metabolism, they just register that the window is open and the temperature is dropping. So it forces the HVAC system to work twice as hard to fight you.
Yes, you are fighting the body's own brilliant engineering instead of just fixing the furnace. And, well, what's fascinating here is how that exact logic applies to the system's mitochondrial theory.
The power plants.
Right, the mitochondria are the tiny power plants inside your cells. The system states that healthy cells are designed to burn clean fats for sustained, efficient energy through a process called the Krebs cycle.
Okay.
You can think of the Krebs cycle as the factory's natural, slow-burn furnace. Sugar, in its pure form, is meant to be a clean, instant-access backup fuel.
Right. Instant energy.
But when we constantly overload the body with complex, hard-to-break-down industrial foods and, chemical medications, we actively tear down the mitochondrial membrane.
And when those powerhouses break down, the entire energy grid crashes.
Exactly.
And that's when you get what they call metabolic syndrome, this cascading failure of obesity, insulin resistance, chronic fatigue, brain fog.
Right. And this actually brings us to one of the most profound and honestly controversial theories in Dr. Alawadi's framework, the true origin of cancer.
Oh yeah, this part was wild.
The sources argue that cancer cells do not just randomly mutate out of nowhere to attack you.
Yeah.
They are actually a radical defensive survival mechanism.
Wait, a survival mechanism?
Yes.
But if this is just a localized survival mechanism trying to help the cell, why does it end up spreading and killing the host? That seems contradictory.
It's a great question, and it really comes down to the environment. The system asks you to picture the interstitial space in your body.
The fluid between the cells.
Right, the fluid-filled spaces between your cells.
Yeah.
You have about 20 kilograms of this tissue. When you constantly flood the body with toxic dietary inputs, that entire environment becomes inflamed, calcified, and suffocating.
Oh, wow.
Oxygen is physically cut off from the cells.
So the cells are literally drowning in a toxic wasteland.
Yes. And what does a living cell do when it is trapped in an environment completely devoid of oxygen?
It tries to survive.
Exactly. It panics. To stay alive, it is forced to revert to a highly primitive form of energy production called anaerobic fermentation.
Anaerobic meaning without oxygen,
Right.
like how yeast ferments to make bread or alcohol.
Exactly. It abandons its normal function and just ferments whatever it can find to stay alive. That fermenting primitive cell is what we call a cancer cell.
That is wow.
And it spreads because the toxic environment itself is spreading. So healing isn't about carpet bombing the localized cell. It's about changing the global cellular environment.
You have to remove the toxic input.
Right. So the body's repair stations can bring oxygen back to the factory floor.
That is heavy. But it makes an incredible amount of logical sense.
It really does.
If the body is this master manufacturing plant, and disease is just a reaction to bad materials, then the most important question for you, the listener, is what are the pure raw materials?
Exactly.
If we want to optimize this factory, what is the ideal fuel?
Well, the primary rule here is the food frequency indicator. The system stresses that health isn't just about what you eat, but how much digestive energy it requires. So the system categorizes pure cane sugar, pure animal ghee, dates, and white Egyptian rice as the foundational, unrestricted fuels.
Hold on. Here's where it gets really interesting. Pure cane sugar, white rice.
Yep.
I mean, I need to stop you there because those are the absolute villains of modern nutrition.
Well, I know.
We've been told to avoid white rice because it spikes your blood sugar, and that pure sugar is practically poison. How can the system possibly justify making sugar and white rice unrestricted green light foods?
It all comes back to energy allocation in the factory. The Altai-Bot system favors foods that require absolute minimal digestive energy.
Okay.
Think about white rice. The fibrous, hard-to-digest outer bran has been completely removed. What you are left with is pure, accessible starch. When you eat it, the body doesn't have to work hard to break it down.
It absorbs the energy instantly.
Precisely. And pure cane sugar, when it is derived naturally, converts into immediate cellular energy ATP almost effortlessly.
Wow.
But when you eat complex, tough, highly fibrous matter, your digestion station has to work overtime. It draws massive amounts of blood and energy away from the repair and hormone manufacturing station.
Oh, I see.
So by eating clean, simple, ancestral fuels, you allow the cellular powerhouses to function without bogging down the machinery.
So it's not about the sugar itself. It's about the fact that your body doesn't have to exhaust itself to process it.
Exactly.
Okay, so those are the essentials. What about the secondary allowances, like the daily and weekly stuff?
Right, so these are foods you can have daily, but shouldn't overindulge in because they require slightly more processing.
Right.
This includes whole wheat toast, processed or melted cheeses, raw honey, olives, and raw nuts.
Processed cheese, really.
Yep. And then you have weekly allowances on a rotational basis. This is where your animal proteins come in veal, lamb, camel, wild-caught sea fish, and pigeon.
Pigeon.
Yeah. And also seasonal fruits like peeled apples and grapes.
Notice the apples have to be peeled to remove that tough fiber.
Exactly, to save digestive energy.
And then occasional treats, maybe once a month, like dark chocolate and natural jams.
Right.
But I want to go back to the fats, because this system goes incredibly hard on defending heavy fats.
It really does.
We are talking pure ghee, real butter, and hard fermented cheeses like Gouda, Edam, cheddar, Roquefort.
Yes, this ties into the system's lipid theory. In this framework, cholesterol is absolutely not the enemy.
Right.
It is a vital, waxy alcohol synthesized by every single cell in your body. It acts as an electrical insulator for your nervous system and a cellular shock absorber.
Wow.
It is the literal raw material your body must have to manufacture vitamin D, cortisol, and testosterone.
But what about clogged arteries? I mean, that's the first thing people think of when you say, go eat real butter and Gouda cheese.
The sources explicitly break down the physics of this. Both your blood vessel walls and the lipoproteins that carry cholesterol have a negative electrical charge.
Okay.
Just like two magnets with the same polarity, they naturally repel each other. Fat does not arbitrarily stick to the walls and clog the pipes.
So if they repel each other, why do people get clogged arteries?
Arterial plaque is a structural failure. When you chronically elevate your insulin with industrial seed oils and toxic chemicals, you inflame and damage the arterial wall.
Ah, I see.
The body then uses cholesterol as a bandage to patch the damage. Blaming the butter for the plaque is like blaming the ambulance for the car crash just because it's at the scene.
That is a phenomenal way to look at it. Give the body the clean fats, and the factory uses them to build and insulate.
Exactly.
But if that is the pure fuel, what actively jams the gears? Because if white rice and pure sugar are on the approved list, I have a feeling the banned list is going to upset some people.
Oh, it absolutely will. The system identifies several food groups that actively tear down the gut, irritate the colon, and disrupt your hormonal balance.
Okay, lay it on me.
First up on the absolutely prohibited list, poultry and eggs.
Wait, hold on. No chicken or eggs?
None. Factory farmed chicken, turkey, duck, and eggs are strictly out. Yeah, the sources cite the immense reliance on antibiotics, artificial feed, and growth hormones in modern poultry farming.
That makes sense.
Eating that meat severely damages human endocrine health and introduces massive gut dysbiosis.
Okay, I can see the logic with factory farming. It's toxic. But what else is on the red list?
Raw leafy greens and legumes.
Wait, what?
That means beans, lentils, chickpeas, raw lettuce, spinach, arugula, and all raw salads are entirely banned.
Wait a minute. A plate of grilled chicken on top of a raw leafy spinach salad is considered the ultimate gold standard healthy meal by practically every fitness expert on Earth.
Oh, I know.
How can this system claim that a simple spinach salad is toxic?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, we have to look at evolutionary biology. Plants cannot run away from predators.
Right.
They don't have teeth or claws. Their defense mechanisms are chemical. The sources point out that raw leafy greens and legumes are heavily defended by aggressive anti-nutrients,
Like what?
specifically lectins, phytates, and oxalates.
So these are essentially the plant's chemical weapons to paralyze or poison insects and animals so they stop eating them.
Exactly. Now, a ruminant animal like a cow, which has multiple stomachs and chews its cud all day, they can break those chemicals down.
But we can't.
The human digestive tract cannot. When you consume a raw salad or a bowl of unfermented lentils, you are ingesting these chemical weapons.
Yikes.
They bind to minerals in your gut so you can't absorb them. They cause microscopic tears in your intestinal lining, and oxalates place immense filtering stress on your kidneys.
So while you think you're eating a clean salad, your body's factory is actually sounding the alarm.
Precisely.
It has to pull all its energy away from cellular repair just to detoxify the chemical weapons you just swallowed.
You are exhausting the machinery. And the disruptor list doesn't stop there. Modern dairy is also banned.
Really?
Raw milk, commercial yogurt, fresh white cheese, and cottage cheese, often called Koresh, are all out.
Now, why is that? I thought fermented cheeses like Gouda were on the green list.
They are, because of the aging process. The issue with modern commercial liquid dairy and fresh cheeses is the intense industrial processing.
Like pasteurization.
Yeah, pasteurization and homogenization. They physically shatter the structure of the casein protein in the milk, turning it into an unrecognizable fragment that triggers a human immune response.
Oh, wow.
Plus, it leaves unfermented lactose behind, which ferments in your gut and causes massive irritation. Hard-aged cheeses are fine because the bacteria have already consumed the lactose and the proteins are pre-digested.
It's all about how much work the factory has to do.
Exactly.
Okay, what else is out?
The red list also includes industrial beverages, so all sodas, obviously, but also black tea because it actively strips iron from your blood.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, plus certain fruits and vegetables like watermelons, citrus like oranges and lemons, raw onions, raw garlic, and avocados.
Avocados, man, they really are coming for the superfoods.
I know, it's wild.
But I want to circle back to the gut irritation you mentioned with the raw salads and fresh milk, because the sources detail this specific medical theory that absolutely blew my mind.
Oh, the colon sciatica connection.
Yes, The colon sciatica.
Yes! This perfectly illustrates how interconnected the body's engineering truly is. I mean, millions of people suffer from lower back pain, herniated discs, or sciatica, that shooting pain down the leg. And what is the first thing they assume?
They assume it's a structural spine problem, like they think they lifted a box wrong or they have a terrible mattress.
Right. But Dr. Elawadi theorized that a massive percentage of this pain actually originates from the colon.
The colon.
Yeah. Look at the anatomy of the pelvic floor. When you eat highly fermentable, irritating inputs like raw spinach, lentils, or industrial milk, they sit in your gut and ferment like a brewery, creating immense amounts of gas.
Which causes the colon to physically swell up like a balloon.
Yes. And because of how tight the space is in the pelvis, that swollen, distended colon has nowhere to go. It presses directly backward against the sciatic nerve root.
That is unbelievable.
Right.
So the debilitating back pain isn't a spine issue at all. It's a plumbing issue.
Exactly.
It's caused by a dietary input that bloated the colon so much it crushed a nerve. It really drives home why keeping the factory floor clean isn't just about weight loss. It's about structural integrity.
It's about everything functioning smoothly.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener, on a practical Tuesday morning? Understanding this theory is one thing, but how do you actually run this metabolic machinery on a daily basis?
Well, the sources provide a very practical 7-day sample meal plan, and it shows that living this way is actually quite luxurious, provided you follow the operational rules.
Yeah, let's look at the Saturday plan. For breakfast, you are having whole wheat toast with country butter, raw honey, and Turkish coffee.
It sounds pretty good, right?
It really does. And lunch is white Egyptian rice with well-done veal and mashed potatoes generously mixed with ghee.
Generously mixed.
Then dinner is a baked sweet potato, clotted cream, and dates. I mean, that sounds incredibly comforting.
Notice the composition there. It is deeply nourishing, high in easy-to-access energy, and virtually devoid of fibrous, irritating anti-nutrients.
And then the system builds in mandatory rest for the factory.
Right, like the Monday plan, which is a fasting day. You fast completely during the daylight hours.
Okay.
At sunset, for iftar, you break the fast gently with warm water and dates.
Perfect.
Then you move to white rice, stuffed with meat, something like mashikusa, but crucially, made without any raw greens mixed in.
No greens, right?
And for a late suhoor snack, you have pure sesame halva and Turkish coffee.
See, the meal plan beautifully illustrates that the system isn't about starvation. It's about strategic nourishment.
Yes, strategic is the perfect word.
But to actually get the benefits, you have to implement these 6 golden operational rules. These are the strict protocols for running the factory floor.
Right, let's run through them. Rule 1, eat only when genuinely physiologically hungry. Not out of boredom, not because the clock says it's noon.
Rule 2, stop before absolute satiety. Never fill the stomach to 100% capacity.
Which is crucial because overloading the physical stomach completely disrupts the secretion of your digestive hormones. It creates a backlog on the conveyor belt.
Rule 3 is what we saw on Monday, weekly and monthly fasting. The plan recommends fasting on Mondays, Thursdays, and the 13th, 14th, and 15th of the lunar month.
This acts as the ultimate mitochondrial reset. If you are constantly dropping food down the chute, the digestion station never shuts off.
It's always working.
Right. Scheduled fasting forces the body to flip the switch from digestion mode to cellular repair mode.
Rule 4 is a really interesting biohack. Drink a cup of water with a spoonful of natural, authentic vinegar right after your meals.
That simple step optimizes your stomach acid for breakdown. And the acetic acid in the vinegar blunts any potential blood sugar spikes from the rice or dates. It keeps the energy release smooth.
Rule 5. Drink warm water upon waking up. This kicks off liver detoxification and gently wakes up the digestive tract.
Yes.
And finally, Rule 6. Light daily exercise. We aren't talking about exhausting, heavy weightlifting that breaks down muscle, just gentle movement.
The goal of the exercise is simply to activate lymphatic drainage and stimulate mitochondrial breathing.
Just keep things moving.
Exactly. When you look at all these rules together, the underlying theme is respect.
Respect.
Yeah, you are respecting the immense energy it takes to digest food, and you are giving the system the dedicated rest it needs to clean up the factory.
It is such a radically different lens to view your health through. I mean, to recap this incredible journey we've taken today, the Altay Abat system demands that you reimagine your body not as a weak sponge, but as a sovereign manufacturing plant.
Right.
It thrives on clean, easily digestible ancestral fuels, things like white rice, pure animal ghee, dates, and pure cane sugar, because they provide instant energy without taxing the system. And simultaneously, you must fiercely protect the factory floor by avoiding gut-irritating disruptors. That means saying goodbye to factory farmed chicken, modern commercial dairy, and those raw leafy salads full of chemical defense mechanisms.
The equation at the heart of Dr. Alawadi's work is beautifully simple, honestly. Zero toxic inputs equals 100% health.
Wow.
Give the body the right raw materials, get out of its way, and let the engineering do what it was designed to do.
It really makes you rethink every single health commercial and diet guru you've ever listened to.
It absolutely does. And it leaves us with a fascinating, lingering question.
What's that?
If perfect health is truly our body's default, effortless state, how much of our daily, exhausting health and wellness routines are actually just us forcing our bodies to work overtime, desperately trying to protect us from our own cures?
Wow. That is the exact thought we want you to mull over today.
Yeah.
The next time you sit down for a meal and look at your plate, we want you to ask yourself, is this going to feed my factory or force an extraction?